and I love the new house, but man, getting rid of all that stuff, you don't realize how much stuff you collect. And we had 4 kids, and I'm sure we had, so much stuff that we didn't need.
But they have memories as well, don't they?
Yeah, it was tough. But you know what? We're settled in now, and it's working out great.
So how are you dealing with empty nesting?
Yeah, it's good. I'm fine. I have the kids over for dinner. I'm doing fine.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. You're obviously, the thing about you that I love, Arlene, is that you obviously are very involved with your children, but you also have this other little girl that you have over all the time.
Yes. I have little Maya that comes over every week. I have her every weekend. Every Friday night I take her. She's a little girl who's just came from a real troubled parenthood, and her mom's bipolar and her dad, they fight all the time. They're not together, then they are together. She's moved 6 times in her 4 years. So she's had a really rough life, and I've been able to give her this one stable home that she can come to once a week, and she knows there's so much love here for her, and we do things with her. We take her to any events. Like they had a princess party here, which was so cool, where all the little girls ages 2 to 7 dressed up like princesses, and they had a big party, and they teach them virtues and things like that. And it's a cool little party, and all the money raised goes to the firefighters, where they build new playgrounds for kids. And so I got a ticket for Maya, dressed her up like a princess, make her feel special. And so I do fun things like that. Tonight she's coming over, and there's a hockey game, the local hockey game, and I always take her to the last half hour of the game. She loves to go to the hockey game, and she likes the mascot, and he always pats her on the head, and she looks forward to that. So whenever I tell her that there's a hockey game on, she's all excited. And then tomorrow there's actually a big country fair about 30 minutes from here, and I took her to it last year, and we really had a good time. So tomorrow I'm planning, after I take Brooke to swimming lessons, then me and Maya, and we're going to head out to that country fair. So I just love being able to spend time with these little kids and hopefully make a really good influence on their life.
But they are so lucky to have you, because you are obviously a completely breath of fresh air for the child, particularly. Yeah, and that's wonderful. I really admire you. So, I mean, the next thing you've got is new babies, and let me just say this. I think one of the hardest things that I had to learn when Poppy had her first baby was to keep my mouth shut. I was brimming over with what I thought were good ideas and good advice, but A, things have changed and childcare has moved on in the last 30 years, but B, they don't really want your advice. They need to make their own decisions. So you really have to keep your mouth shut until they ask you, and it's quite hard. Well, it was very hard for me anyway.
Yeah, it was hard for me too. I know with Shelby, there were certain things that I really wanted, I thought she should do, and she wasn't doing them. And it was I was and biting my tongue sometimes. But you know what? They do have to learn on their own. And Shelby has come back a few times and said, I wish I'd done that. And she will be doing it with the second baby. So they live and learn too.
Yeah, absolutely. So she was actually nice enough to admit that you were right.
She was. And what she was doing was, she was, instead of nursing the baby, breastfeeding the baby, she was pumping the milk and then feeding the baby, and then it was taking up twice the amount of time. Yeah. I said, just nurse the baby. Yeah. And she said, ma'am, she goes, I was wasting so much time. I'm just going to nurse the baby.
Yeah.
I laughed.
Well, so she was pumping it and then giving her a bottle with How, isn't that funny?
I know, it's crazy. And I guess her thinking was that other people could feed the baby too, but oh my gosh, she was exhausting herself doing that.
Yeah, but also, I mean, breastfeeding, that's one of the things that people don't realise. It's quite painful at first, the first week or so.
It is.
Yeah, it takes a bit of getting used to.
Oh, it's terrible. I remember the first breastfeeding. There's like, you're in pain for a week, so just live with it. And then after that, it's a piece of cake.
Absolutely. Can you imagine having to get up in the middle of the night and sterilize bottles? And
no, you bring your baby to bed and nurse the baby, then put them back in their bassinet.
Poppy's got a new bassinet, actually, which fits on the side of the bed. Because, they've got this thing about you mustn't have your baby in bed with you, because apparently it's one of the most dangerous things you can do, because you can roll on it when you're asleep, But she's got this new one, which actually fits on the side of the bed, so you can just sort of slide it onto that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, great idea.
That's great.
Yeah,
they've got some cool things for kids these days. I'm absolutely in shock at all the things they've got. They've got, have you seen those little Bumbo seats? They're called Bumbo, and they're like this little seat that the kid just slips into it, and they can put a tray on it, and it's very portable and light and comfortable for the child when they're learning to sit up. Yeah. They've got cool things now. I just think the stuff is so amazing.
Yeah. I mean, parents today have so much more than we all ever before. Yeah.
And it seems they all have 2 different types of strollers, and the baby junk these days is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, the whole key to this is that, when you're bursting with, that your daughter or your son-in-law or your whoever is saying they're not interested in what you've got to say, you can come and vent your frustration on Grandma's Delights.
That's
and let me just explain this. The reason my site is targeted at the USA is because you are really ahead of us on the internet marketing, and also because I believe these issues are universal. So I really expect some women from all over will join in. And apart from the forum and regular articles, I have a book club, and each month we will select a good book for us to read and share the pleasure. As I say, what I'm currently running is Bring Up the Bodies by the Booker Award-winning Hilary Mantel. I don't know about you, but when I've read a book, I really enjoy it, and it's great to discuss it with others. And suggestions for new books can come from anyone. Now, here's the thing: the access to the forum and the book club, and to access the forum and book club and to receive my weekly newsletter, all they need to do is put their name and email into the box on the site, and as a thank you, they'll get a nice little ebook with lots of ideas for things to do when the grandkids come to stay, plus a newsletter every weekend, and of course the ability to contribute to the forum and book club, all for free. Coming up are going to be regular articles on nutrition to keep our bodies extra healthy, ideas about grandparenting, etc. And I'm also thinking of running some articles about the legal rights of grandparents. I thought that might be of interest.
I think it would.
Yeah. I've got to find someone who's really good at American law for that. I also recommend presents for different occasions like new babies and special days like Father's and Mother's Days, etc. And of course, I have a bee in my bonnet about reusable diapers. If you look at my page on Charlie Banana's diapers to see the horrible chemicals that you're putting on your baby when you use disposable diapers, it's actually quite scary. Yeah, I mean, it's a very hard one, that, because, these disposable diapers are so easy.
They are so easy. But you know what? I think that the Charlie Banana diapers you have on your site, those are amazing. They look easy to use. You know what? They're not a whole lot of extra work, I don't think.
Absolutely. Well, you have a liner and you throw the liner away, and then you can wash the actual diaper part in a washing machine.
Yeah.
It's, there's no, we've all got washing machines these days.
Yeah.
So.
And the cost savings must be enormous.
The cost savings are huge, but the only trouble is that you have to buy the whole lot at the beginning rather than spread it out over 2 years. But it's actually like a third of the price over 2 years in comparison,
Yeah, exactly.
But also,
and it makes a great gift for someone looking for a present for a new baby. There you go.
A great grandparenting gift. A great grandparenting gift. And I mean, obviously, also, I've lost what I was going to say. But anyway, I mean, if you click on any of the products I recommend, you go straight through to Amazon so you can be sure of the exceptional service that they deliver.
Yes.
And I obviously make commission on these things, but that doesn't affect the price you pay. It just gives me a living. So, you know, what I'm hoping is that Grandma's Delight sounds like the sort of place that people might like to hang out and get some stimulating ideas and share some thoughts with. So, Arlene, it's been really, really good talking to you.
Well, thank you.
Fun sharing your thoughts and being a grandmother. Keep me posted on how Shelby's getting on. Yeah,
and once our new grandbabies are born, we'll have to do another podcast and talk about them.
Absolutely, absolutely. When is she actually due?
First few days of January.
Okay.
But they are expecting her to deliver in December, so we'll see.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. And is she going to have a natural childbirth?
No, she's having cesarean.
Poppy is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did she have a bad time the first time?
Yeah, she had preeclampsia, and they did emergency cesarean the first time through, so they're planning another cesarean again.
Yeah. Poppy has...
And she has preeclampsia again, so they're monitoring her very closely.
How is she,
Yeah, she's doing okay now. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, Poppy's got this thyroid problem, which has caused a lot of the problem, and she had the most unbelievable... Well, it wasn't morning sickness, it was 24 hours a day sickness, and it went on for about 6 weeks. And she said, you know, when she heard about Kate Middleton, you know, our princess, you know,
yes,
you know, going to hospital, everyone went, oh my God, you know, she's pregnant, what, you know, get real. But then she said, now I've had it, you know, I know what it's like, and it's just awful.
Terrible.
She was really ill. So, you know... Anyway, maybe we can do this again in the future. The next thing I'm thinking of doing is Encore Careers. You know what that is?
No.
Oh, Encore Careers is a word I picked up. It's the way they're talking about careers for baby boomers. In other words, what you're going to do if you've got another 30 years to live when you retire.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
A, you might need to make some money, and B, you might need to keep your brain going, you know. So
absolutely.
You know, so
I love that idea.
Yeah, I'm going to do things around that. So you know, I mean, everyone's got a lifetime of skills and experience, and we can use that. You know, do consultancy and all sorts of things, or do something completely different, something that your parents told you not to do because it would never make any money, you know, when you're 18.
That's great. I love that idea.
Yeah. So, Arlene, thanks for your time, and we'll speak again soon.
Good, thanks.
Great, thank you. And bye-bye to everybody, all our listeners.